All right, we'll start with the opening statement from Coach and then take questions from student athletes.
Yeah, well, certainly I'm proud of the team. I thought we played hard, we competed, kind of stuck to the game plan, made the right plays. Obviously, Baylor's a fantastic opponent. All the respect in the world for them. Nikki does a phenomenal job. We knew what we were up against, but it was a big opportunity for us, and we felt like we've been really close here at home and let a couple slip away. And so to play the fourth quarter and to stay in that fight, kind of the entire way, I was just really, really proud of the group. Great crowd, best crowd we've had of the year for sure. Finally got us a weekend home game, and I thought our players played really well for the crowd, and they kind of helped will us to that one late a couple of times. So a lot happened in that game. There was a lot going on, just from a flow and the technicals and free throws and the stoppages, but really just proud of the group. I thought they responded the right way. These two were really, really good here sitting up next to me, so I'm proud of them. I'm proud for the team. That was a good moment for us, and then now we'll put our attention to the next one they'll hear pretty quickly.
Questions from Jordan, maybe?
Jordan, Coach Collins said that Baylor had trouble adjusting to your changing presses, to going straight man or trapping versus some of your zones. What was in the game plan that you all saw that maybe thought that they would have trouble with that? And was there any, the way that you changed between them and executed them, was that a point of emphasis, hey, we've got to do each one of these right and execute our fundamentals?
Yeah, I think our coaches brought up how, kind of in our press, we were going backwards a little bit instead of coming up and applying pressure. That was definitely the emphasis, to add more pressure and make sure we got those traps in the idiot box.
Which one do you think you're better in? Man, double, and zone?
I think we're pretty good at all of them.
Does one suit your game better than another?
No, I just like defense, so whichever one is fine with me.
Mimi, you had 18 and 15 against one of the tallest teams in the Big 12. I mean, what allowed you to be so dominant in the post tonight?
Just my will, honestly. A lot of teams start aggressive on me, and I think it's hard to keep pushing us. I have a 5 that's really dominant, so it was just me wanting to outwork. I know that they was a good offensive rebounding team, and I kind of looked over my coach. He was telling me I need every rebound, so that was just a motivation for me to just keep going after it.
Jordan, what did you think of the crowd tonight?
Oh, the crowd was good. Thank you to the student section that came out, all the fans. We definitely feed off their energy a lot. They were very important in that win. So, it was a great crowd.
Does that help, like Mark was saying, the starts and stops and the the review? Does the crowd being here help that?
Yes, a lot. I think, any player enjoys playing in a crowd like that. That's going for them, especially. They were on the refs kind of tough, but they were good.
Maybe this would have been your first time seeing this kind of crowd here. What did you think?
It was amazing, honestly. I love engaging with the crowd. I love hearing the reactions and stuff like that. It definitely helps us out and brings us energy. There's people on the sideline let's go Mimi and let's get it. So just hearing all of them and seeing everybody show up today was amazing.
You were hyping them up there, Dan.
Jordan, Baylor's coach was talking about how, about the press or even in the half court, you set the tone defensively. In regards to you liking defense so much, how much pride do you take in that, especially as we get closer towards the end of the season?
I think just here, that's our bread and butter, our defense. So knowing that we need to bring that back, I had that note in the back of my head, it starts with me. I'm the point guard. So if I start off good, then my teammates will follow what I do. So, yeah.
Maybe what do you think the difference between, size and physicality is? Because they were taller than you guys, but, you and Jordan Thomas, they didn't really match you.
Just your will, in intensity. I don't think I see nobody's size. I've been, an undersized post pretty much all my life. I was tall in middle school, and then from there it was just okay, I got to do something else because I know I'm not going to be 6'3" or 6'4", but I've always kept my strength and just knowing, my strength and weaknesses. If somebody's taller than me, they might not be as swift as me. If somebody's a 4, they might be a little bit a stretch 4, and I can dominate them in the post.
Thanks, Jordan. Thanks, Mimi.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Questions for Coach?
Mark, I guess, I just asked Mimi, what is the difference between size and physicality? And, Jordan Thomas was plus 25, and, I don't know, she scored 2 points, so, how much of a factor did that play?
Yeah, that's every game for it. We've been that way since we've been here. We've either been undersized or not maybe as tall or strong in certain positions with certain players. It's something that we wanted to focus on a little bit this year, was to get a little more, presence in the paint. It wasn't about size, though. This was way more about production. And so it wasn't looking at Mimi as a 6'1.5", 4 player. It was the girls produced a ton in college basketball. Like, she's a hooper. She knows how to play the game. And for me, I would much rather go that way than just go find, kids that have look good on a roster because they're 6'3" or 6'4", but not quite as talented. So it's never about that. We can play hard. We can compete. We can be physical. We do it a little bit differently from the physical, but, certain parts, whether either ball pressuring isn't necessarily physical, but it can be. It's disruptive. That's something really important to us. And then obviously, having the ability to score in the paint, which Mimi did a fantastic job. Carter didn't quite get going. JT, didn't shoot it great, but plus 25, in which he played 18 minutes. Like, that's really, really good. So, dodged a little foul trouble, but stayed with the course, needed everybody in this one.
Coach, the way Jordan and Gia were able to attack Kite and Beak, whether she's coming off screens and getting in the pass lanes or just pressuring her one-on-one, was that something you guys saw that, hey, maybe this is an advantage for us? Because it just seemed like that really kind of stood out.
Yeah, I don't know that it was so much Baylor-driven. It was when we're at Utah, we didn't do a very good job of that. And that's, when we're at our best, I think we are disruptive, taking, with the ball handlers. And so, yeah, it was something that, Van Geitenbeek hadn't played against us before. You'd been going against some veterans at Baylor for a while, so we thought if we could kind of get some teeth to it, and change those presses a little bit and give them different looks. And then they were giving us different looks in their press break, so then that forces us to kind of have to make some changes to our press as well. So it really was just a back and forth on, them trying to break it one way, us trying to figure out what press we wanted to run against it. But yeah, the constant was the ball pressure. And I thought, yeah, Gia was really good. Jordan obviously is a finalist for the Defensive Player of the Year, so she's been really, really good. But they set the tone.
Is that the major consideration in you changing your press tactics, or are there times when you feel like, hey, we've been in this for X amount of trips, we need to show them something different, we need to kind of keep them off balance?
Yeah, any of it. It can be that we've been in one. It could be that they've adjusted. Which I thought Baylor did a pretty good job of changing the press breaker quite a bit throughout that game to give us different looks. But I thought our adjustments were pretty good as well, and I thought our kids just kind of bought into the game plan on that end, and they did a good job. Yeah, to force them 30 turnovers on Baylor, which I think I read was like the most in 25 years, is pretty special.
Mark, 23 offensive rebounds. Why this game? And when you get that, you should win, I guess.
Well, because we missed about 46 of them, I guess. So you would hope you would go get some of them. That's why. We weren't great offensively. I thought we needed to slow down. At the rim, they do speed you up. They have length. We knew that could bother us a little bit. I thought as the game would go, we would start to calm down a little bit at the rim. We started out ahead in the foul count, and then it kind of flipped pretty quickly after that. But we made free throws when we got there. And it was just stay on. If we're going to miss, we better find ways to get other opportunities. So, we took 70 shots to their 47. Some of that obviously was turnover based and then offensive rebounds, but we won the possession battle. And then finally made some shots in the fourth quarter to shoot, 58% we shot in the fourth quarter. So we finally got a little offense going late.
What stood out to you about Jordan these last couple of games? Obviously she's had games where she's had 5 or more steals, but just this game specifically, it seemed like she had a little bit more, pep in her step.
Yeah, no, I think she's been trending that way for actually quite some time. I think when we play better, Jordan kind of gets it going for us. But, she was a little up and down early in the year. She would say the same thing, but no, over the last month plus, she's been really, really good, and certainly a tone setter for what we do. So, yeah, just happy for her, and I think the shot's starting to feel a little bit better for her. I know she only made the one, but they kind of dared her there, so I was happy she hit that one, and I think it's all kind of starting to click here at the right time.
And you guys also eliminated a lot of opportunities for them going to the paint, but also Baylor's coach said that a lot of that was just self-inflicting. What were you guys doing to kind of pack everything into the paint whenever they try to go downhill?
Yeah, well, it was just, Bugs is a phenomenal player, phenomenal rebounder, so we had to keep her off the glass. Their fives, when they went big, can pose a problem, rebounding. So, it's just, you're trying to force certain types of shots for certain types of kids based on your scout. At times we did a good job of that. At times maybe not so much. But I thought our first shot defense was pretty good. They didn't shoot it at a great percentage. They obviously got to the free throw line a ton, but outside of that, to hold that team to 29.8% field goal percentage gives us a great chance to win.
Coach Collin talked about Sydney Shaw's development from the last time they played you guys, saying, last year they felt like they could pick on her a little bit more, and then she chose the complete opposite this time around. How much of the improvement have you seen from her?
Yeah, a ton. Shaw's come a long, long way. And she would tell you this too. When she first got here in the summer, it was two summers ago. We got to get this kid to learn how to defend, and there's another level to what she's doing. But even when she wasn't playing great early, I don't even know if I took her out in the first quarter. If I did, it was very late. But there's just trust in her defensively to be in the right spots, to understand system, help us rebound when she's not, and then you're kind of just waiting for that offensive game to catch up, which she hit the 3 huge threes, and they cut it to 5 or 6, right? And she hit a 3, with 4 minutes to go or something to get it to 8 or 9, and that was maybe all, kind of the dagger at that point.
First half, you forced 18 turnovers, but you're only up 6 points at the half. Do you look at that like, wow, I think we should have been up more, or do you look at it, hey, we're up by 6, we're in a spot that we'd have taken at the start of the game?
I thought that to myself, but I didn't tell my team that. Yes, when you turn them over, I think it was 19 turnovers is what our stat sheet said. Yes, we should have been up probably more than that. And same thing, we had shot volume on them. We just didn't convert. But if you don't make shots and you turn them over, then it doesn't really matter. But that was something we did talk about. We wanted to make sure we converted those turnovers or steals into points. And, we did an okay job when it was all said and done. But there for a while, it was a little too close based on the amount of turnovers.
Mark, the other day you said you only think about each game by itself, but how good does it feel to win this?
I mean, it feels good. Yeah, sure. Just because, we needed it, first off. It's obviously Baylor. We know, the tradition of excellence in that program. They were sitting ahead of us by 2 games in the league standing. So, yes, it was on national TV. We only get so many of those opportunities. So you want to play well, but you want to play well and get better. That's the whole goal, is to be process-driven, not so much outcome. But, yes, this outcome feels good for today. But we got to go get ready for Colorado now tomorrow, so it's not like we're not going to – won't be a lot of celebrating. Though we had the celebration in the locker room and the high fives, and we practice at 12:45 tomorrow, so we'll be right back at it trying to figure out how to win the next one. But, yeah, I was happy for our players, if I'm being honest. They had a little experience in the locker room, that they should have, and they got to be excited for each other. And sometimes we give out little awards after the game, and we just said, forget it, all you can all have them tonight. Like, you all deserve it, and we're working hard. And February is where you get rolling. Like, we need to get rolling, so you're playing your best in March, and this was our first opportunity in this month, and so we need to keep some of this momentum rolling.
Thanks, Coach.
Coach, I'm sorry. Coach, you've been asked about, your offensive rebounds, points in the paint, the turnovers. Did any of them surprise you? I mean, now that you see the number on the box score?
Nope.
If we play well, it can look like that. If we don't play well, it won't. I still want to make more shots. That's the one thing we still want to do, is finish a little bit at a higher clip. But we got the defensive field goal percentages down. That's something we've wanted to do. But yeah, we can offensive rebound. We can turn people over. That's not a surprise to me at all that we played and did that. Other than the opponent, obviously, to do that to Baylor is maybe different. But those are things that we traditionally do night in and night out if we're at our best. So thanks, everybody.